So first thing this morning, what I did was I got up, I wrapped that pernil and slid it in the oven. And as you see, I put it here at 250, nice and low. And then if we fast forward to about an hour later, I buttered it. This is actually what's going to help it make a nice crisp skin, but it's also going to make the juices that we will baste this thing with throughout the day. And now you will see here, I foiled it loosely, tented, and that's going to help keep the juices in the pan. Next step will be to take it out from time to time and baste it. I suggest to you that you buy a good baster. It's time to stop getting the dollar store plastic basters. They often don't make it through 1 or 2 cooks and they end up splitting down the side. So you buy this thing several times. This is a nice metal baster with a removable rubber bulb, and both of these things clean so much easier than plastic. And they don't dry out and crack or not be able to withstand the heat. This lovely model comes with a needle that you can use to actually inject the flavor into the meat. Just suck up those juices, jam it into the meat, and give it a good squeeze. Actually, I think I will do this with this lovely pernil. So I'm going to go and pop this thing out of the oven. We're going to get started on a quick baste. Okay, so I have popped the still not juicy pernil out of the oven again, and let me show you because it's actually starting to juice. See all of that loveliness right here? But this is a slow and low cook, understand, so this is never gonna be a quick thing, but let's see here. Look at this. It's actually getting juicy, it's just not gushing juice. Okay, so as you see, the pernil has actually come out of the oven. It never did get really juicy, but it is definitely cooked. I'm going to shred it now. So I opened it up and it didn't pull apart the way it's supposed to pull apart. So now I'm feeling it isn't cooked. So I'm gonna put it right back in this oven. Yeah, I don't like the way it's coming out. Of course, a slow cook is a slow cook. So at the moment, I'm actually cooking dinner for my son who's turning 24 today, and I'm doing this, so let me just show you where I am. It has come to the point where I am cutting it apart, and you're really gonna just cut every piece off. And I like to drop it directly into the pan it cooked in so it soaks up every little bit of juice. Okay, so I'm about to start working on the yellow rice and beans to go with the pernil, and I put a plea out on Facebook for people to share their yellow rice recipes with me, and I got nothing. So here it is, ladies and gentlemen, our first experiment. I bought a box of broth. I do have homemade broth, but I do trust the box of broth. So this is 4 cups of broth. We're gonna bring that to a boil. When that comes to a boil, I'm going to add 4 tablespoons of olive oil because that is what the package of yellow rice calls for. So I bought the yellow rice out of the international aisle. I didn't buy the Carolina version. I bought the Vigo saffron yellow rice, and I am going to simply follow the instructions off of the back of this. And we're going to also add into it red sofrito at some point, and my own homemade black beans that I buy a big bag of them, make several batches, wrap them up and freeze them. I know a lot of people use red beans in their rice and beans, but you know, I went through a lot of work to make these delicious black beans, and we're gonna eat them. So hang in there with me. Yeah, right now all we have to do is wait for that lovely broth to boil. Remarkable, actually, how fast chicken broth boils. I really haven't been out of the room very long. You can tell because I still have my computer glasses on. What you don't see me doing right now is I am setting another burner to a lower temperature because my stove is electric and therefore sucks. I like to have things ready to go, so I actually use this as a way to hold up my open bag. Now the instructions say to add 4 tablespoons of olive oil or butter, then 1 package of Vigo yellow rice. Oh. Okay. Stirring while boiling for 1 minute. Okay, the package also says cover saucepan tightly, reduce heat to simmer, cook for 20 to 25 minutes. What I also didn't notice when I bought it is that it is completely seasoned. But I'm still gonna go ahead and add in, I think some of my sofrito, the capers, and my black beans. But for now, what we're going to do is set a timer for 22 minutes. We'll check on that when that goes off. So I just took a peek inside of this pan and realized I really don't need the sofrito. Let me show you why. Sorry about the steam, folks, but there is definitely enough flavor already mixed in here. So adding sofrito at this point would probably be overkill, and might I just say that that's a quality bag of rice that I purchased there. I still will, however, be adding my black beans and some capers because I like them. All right. Not bad. All right, I recommend the Vigo yellow rice that comes ready to go, officially seasoned and all of that. Saved me a jar of sofrito that now we'll have in my cabinet, but that's a nuclear food. Thinking I can keep that forever. This yellow rice and beans is gonna go fantastic. Just thank you for watching Cooking for Real with me today, and I know I'm really new at this particular YouTube channel. If you would share this, like this, comment, You know, if you have a better bag of yellow rice, or maybe just a better method for yellow rice, or you use different seasoning on your pernil, or maybe there's a completely different food you want me to cook, I would love to hear from you. I'm gonna learn how to do this without stuttering and stammering. And yeah, thank you for joining me.